Hi everyone, Aubrey here from the Roswell Museum and Art Center. Today we got the opportunity to visit artist William Goodman's studio in Tinnie, and we thought we'd bring you along. William owns this motel that he's been renovating. There are a few rooms that are still in need of work, of course, like this one, but as you can see there are others that he's completed, and he's currently using them to store his artworks, in which he works in 4 different categories, the first of which is paintings. You may be familiar with his very large work, Adinaki, that's being stored at the Roswell Museum and Art Center. Very large, very colorful, and you can see that's sort of his style here, with this curved divider that he used to have in a house trailer that he owned when he was working a manual labor job in Wyoming. And he used this to separate different parts of the trailer and give himself a little bit of privacy. But this leaf and vine motif is something that he's come back to time and time again, especially these stripes you see in a lot of his sculptural work in addition to his paintings. This is a 3-dimensional painting that he's worked on that combines his painting with his multimedia pieces.
They're all, see, they're made of wire, and stretched over the wire silk-screened paper.
William got the paper for these projects in 2 distinct ways. First, he would take a sheet of drawing paper and draw a little pattern on it, and then use Don Anderson's Xerox machine, which was the first one in Roswell, to copy the pattern a couple different times at different angles to give it a really complex pattern for these sculptures. The other method he found was a book that he actually discovered lying in the road called the Dictionary of Geologic Terms. It was waterlogged and damaged, but he found the quality of the paper and the patterns and charts so fascinating, and they were perfect for these topological sculptures that he was building. Now, the third category of William's work involves large metal sculptures. You can see one here with that same vine pattern on it that he likes to go back to. Most of them are unpainted, either galvanized steel or with sort of a rusted finish to them, or enameled, as in this yellow piece here. Some of these sculptures are very tall. They can go up to about 30 feet tall, and they just have these organic, vine-like, plant-like structures to them. This particular one really beautifully echoes the plant life that William has at his home out in Tinnie, New Mexico. This particular sculpture is a kinetic sculpture in that it moves. Even the slightest amount of breeze is enough to keep this turning and rotating in the very clear New Mexico sky here.
This is the indispensable tool. This is the only tool that everything gets worked over. And it's done by taking, say, a piece of, cutting a strip of metal, and then just beating the hell out of it, and using these various, this hammer, which is about 4.5 pounds, it fits nicely into here, and this one fits nicely into here.
These simple tools in the hands of a master become these enormous and ornate metal sculptures. You can see the cutouts, you can see the quality of the welding. They're very impressive pieces. In addition to his sculptures, painting, and multimedia pieces, William has a very playful and a musical side of his work as well. He makes contraptions, including this particular music box. As you turn the handle on the drum, these hammers come down and hit the chimes that are tuned to a variety of different notes and different octaves. So while you can't really control the tune that you're playing, the entirety sounds very beautiful and melodic. He has also created a number of artistic pinball machines. You can see this one's got feet and hands painted in his signature vine-like style, but mechanically they work in a very interesting way. He has created this metallic surface for the balls to be caught in at the lower edge there, and at the top this was painted as an ocean scene. Unfortunately, a brown varnish has sort of turned the whole scene brown, but it was originally, it's called Scuttlefish, and so it was painted to look like an ocean scene. And all of these objects that are acting as obstacles in this particular game are magnetic. They can be picked up and moved so that the obstacles themselves during the game can be moved. You see him shooting off the balls as they fly back into the back of the machine. You can see how complicated and mechanical this is, while at the same time being organic and beautiful. These devices really highlight William's strong mechanical and whimsical artistic skills, but it's really the sounds that make them. The artist began making these games and toys for his young grandson about 15 years ago. This particular piece, called Kinetic Park, works like a pinball machine, but it has a specific rule set in that you get 13 balls and there are 10 slots there at the base of the machine, and you're expected to move all of the devices inside the machine around in order to be able to get your balls to fall one into each of the different slots found at the bottom there. And here William is going to demonstrate. He pulls the lever. It shoots up and around this little metal ball, making all kinds of wonderful clanging sounds as it hits things, and it falls into the slot below. Well, that's about it for our tour of William Goodman's studio out in Tinnie, New Mexico. We hope you had a wonderful time, and if you'd like to see more of his work, come visit us at the Roswell Museum and Art Center.